What is going on, guys, and welcome again to another RC in Motion video. And as promised, I bring to you the SCX-10 Jeep Rubicon JK Edition or Ultimate Edition. So far, this is the layout for electronics. I've added a couple more things. I haven't updated the video in quite a while, but today I'm going to update everything, an overall view of it all after the build that you guys have already seen. So let's go quick into it. You guys already seen the mod that I made for the battery plate or the battery tray, so it would sit here and eliminate the battery forward, having all your weight to the top and making it top heavy, and your center of gravity is not really low like it's supposed to. So I went ahead and switched everything around. I went ahead and put the battery tray in the back, and all I used were some servo these servo adapters, or the servo mounts, and little spacers, shock spacers, the plastic ones, because the kit has the aluminum version on, and pretty much just use some countersunk plastic screws, and it sits perfect. No holes drilled, no modifications needed. Just put on the servo mounts and you're set, and the battery sits flush. Let me show you here without the battery. That's perfect right there. So this is just a 2-cell LiPo that I'm running, but I'll be running a 3-cell smaller pack, about 2200 milliamps, which is smaller. That way to keep the weight light, not too heavy. What I have installed here is the RC 4-wheel drive brushed crawler motor, 35 turn, as you guys can see there. This is a good motor. I've heard it's a great, what they call, throwaway motor. It's good for crawling, it's perfect, but then I've heard it just dies out quick if you just put it into rough paces. So this is just for crawling and trailing, comping, not trying to go mudding or hardcore rock bouncing. It's just for comp and small trails on rocks and just dirt, not so much in mud. Back here I have my waterproof Mamba Max Esc. You guys can see it here. It's waterproof with that Never Wet that I featured on my channel once, and so far I have not reapplied it after a year, and it's still waterproof. It's perfect. All I did was take out the board. It has 2 little grub screws inside. Take out the board, give it some decent coats, apply it how you're supposed to, and it'll stay waterproof. And so far it's been waterproof, and it's gonna stay waterproof. I moved the receiver box to the rear, okay, and so far it's a perfect layout because the body sits flush and nothing's in the way, and I have the waterproof receiver as well inside there. It's held on with a zip tie. In an event of a rollover, the ESC doesn't fall out with the double-sided tape. So if I need to get in there, I'd have to cut this zip tie. But it's just being held there so it won't just fly off on an event of a rollover. I say that because I already experienced that when I took it out on the trails last month. I'm sorry, in May, not last month. I took it out in May, did some tests, and that was one of the flaws that I had, that the ESC kept coming out. I really didn't have a mount, so I just put some double-sided tape and the zip tie right there. Okay, the next thing I did was I installed that level 3 chassis mounted servo and the Panhard bar. So it's all right in here. You guys can see the servo up here. I went ahead and mounted it on the chassis with that level 3. It's a pretty good kit. You just have to mount it backwards because this is mostly made for it says it's made for the SCX-10, but the Panhard bar gets in the way, and it doesn't allow that much travel. So being that you install it backwards, not how the instructions tell you, gives you a better amount of flex and travel. The servo I went with is a solar servo. It's a D7. Let me see if I can see it here. D772. And this is a high torque servo. It has about 412 ounces of torque. And believe it or not, this servo was only $25 on hobbyparts.com. I'm sorry, $20, not 25, $20 on hobbyparts.com. I'll put links in the description to the servo and the motor if you guys are interested in that. And as well as the level 3 chassis mounted servo with the Panhard kit as well. I'll put that in the description. I'm using a it's a 20, I believe it's a 23 tooth spline servo horn. This one is the aluminum adjustable. It has 2 grub screws here, and it fits perfect, holds on tight, and doesn't loosen, doesn't come out. But the servo is pretty amazing. It has so much torque. You can actually almost flip your truck with the wheels. The only problem I encounter with this type of servo is if you don't run it on a BEC, it'll overheat just a tiny bit. Not so much. It'll just overheat a tad. But these are the electronics I decided to run, and so far they're doing great. Of course, the winch, I'm switching this out because I just purchased a couple upgrades, which I'll do another video on that. And we're going to take this truck and turn it into a different comp truck. So we're going to get working on that here in the next few days. And I'll make a future video on that. But so far, these are the electronics. Hopefully this answers your questions on what type of electronics I was going to install on it. Let me show you guys the body. Okay, I've done some modifications. Like I said, I've taken the truck out. And I just did some small stuff on my own, and I installed a couple things on the body. I made it a little scale. There's a lead here coming out from the receiver box. You guys can see that's just a female lead. I have the male lead right here, and it goes to the light bar. This is an LED light bar made for cars, and I post most of these updates on my Instagram. So if you guys aren't following my Instagram, you guys can go ahead and follow that, and you guys can see more updates on a daily basis of what I do to the truck. I'll put links in the description below, but this is just a budget-friendly upgrade. Let me zoom out here. Okay, this is a budget-friendly upgrade right here. This is an LED bar made for vehicles, for cars, real cars, one-to-one cars, and they sell it at Walmart for about $8. And I went ahead and installed it with the mounts onto the cage itself. No holes needed to drill. I just put in the mount, double-sided tape, and taped the put in the screws, and ran the wire down so I can unplug it and plug it whenever I'm not using it. This is the I made this scale snorkel here out of hanger. This is just a hanger, and I painted it black and put a metal mesh right here that I cut out from a cup holder. A pen holder that they sell at Walmart for like $2. And I went ahead and installed a Proline roof rack with these are the 2 Axial lights that come in the kit. I just went ahead and installed it. They're non-functional. And I just found this netting. It's a plastic netting I had sitting around. It's made for wires or cables, and all I did was just attach it with these ties that you'd use on like bread, the bread ties, and that's it. And everything is held on there. Nothing falls out if you tumble. I zip tied most of the scale items onto the truck itself. You guys can see in the rear. And that's pretty much the updates so far. I'm coming out with some new stuff for the vehicle itself, for the kit, and I'll have you guys updated on that one. I'm gonna try to get some mirrors if I can, but I don't like running mirrors because if I roll over, they're gonna get lost, just like the Trail Finder 2 did. But so far this is the update, and I'll have you guys updated on some more here in the near future. Thank you guys again for watching another RC in Motion video. I hope this video was entertaining and informative to you guys. If you guys think this is informative, go ahead and share it, like it, comment, rate, and subscribe like always. I'll catch you guys on the next one.